Tonight, just before 6, a look into the troubled past of a local police officer whose recent behavior has many questioning his state of mind. The South Bend Police Department hired Patrolman Jeff McKee in March of 2007. His first 4 years on the job went without a single reprimand, but in the last 23 months, he's been arrested twice for drunk driving and written up for multiple life-threatening violations while on duty. News Center 16's Kevin Lewis has been combing through Officer McKee's personnel file for nearly a month now. And Kevin, how has he managed with all this to keep his job?
Terry, like most employers, the South Bend Police Department can issue warnings for first, second, and in certain circumstances, third offenses. Of course, hindsight being 20/20, the red flags surrounding Officer McKee are plain as day. But in the moment, supervisors and loved ones alike often miss those steady changes in character before it's all too late.
Like Tuesday's rain, word of trouble trickled into South Bend Police headquarters. News that one of its own was in a bind yet again. Odd because at the age of 27, Jeff McKee, a then married father of two, took an oath to serve and protect. Officer McKee would work the afternoon shift, patrolling city streets from 2 to 10 for 4 years without incident. But during a traffic stop in March 2011, McKee arrested a teenager with a warrant. The teen was booked at the Juvenile Justice Center, where jailers found a silver handgun in the suspect's jacket, a weapon McKee somehow missed during his pat-down. Former police chief Daryl Boykins suspended McKee for 1 day without pay and ordered he undergo remedial training, saying, quote, "Due to your lack of attention to detail, you put a fellow officer and the JJC staff in grave danger." Fast forward now to May 2012.
There's a police accident right here.
And this 911 call.
There's a what? Look for the hero. Look for the hero. Come on right now. There's a police accident. A police accident? Look for the There's a cop involved right now. Is he okay? No, I don't know. Car flipped over. Get over here right now. There's a police car involved.
The scene was dramatic.
We got a 1050 of a helping officer.
With Officer McKee at the very center once again.
302, myself and 301 will be there in about 10 seconds.
A crash investigation found McKee was off duty responding to a medical call. Problem is, he drove against traffic on South Brookfield, a one-way street, without his lights or sirens activated. That decision literally turned McKee upside down when a Chevy Lumina T-boned his cop car, causing more than $14,000 in damage. Internal review findings led then interim chief Chuck Hurley to suspend McKee for 2 days without pay and issue a letter of reprimand. But it was here at the corner of State Road 2 and US 20 in LaPorte County where this law enforcement officer faced the law himself. It was 2:47 a.m. when a sheriff's deputy saw McKee make an erratic left-hand turn onto State Road 2. While following the off-duty patrolman, the deputy watched McKee swerve between lanes and later pulled him over. During that traffic stop, McKee admitted to drinking a few beers. His eyes were, quote, bloodshot and glassy, and he failed 3 field sobriety tests. McKee was then booked at the county lockup, where he blew a .13, more than 1.5 times the legal limit. In December, the embattled officer took a plea deal with the county prosecutor, admitting to reckless driving, a reduced misdemeanor charge. And just last Wednesday, McKee went before the South Bend Board of Public Safety for that DUI arrest. The 5-member board suspended him for 21 days without pay and revoked his take-home squad car privileges through January 2015. Not 4 days later, a LaPorte City policeman working DUI patrol passed a car with its hazard lights on, driving with a flat, shredded, smoking tire. The officer made a U-turn and stopped the car in the Best Western Hotel parking lot. The driver, Jeff McKee. Standing on the cold blacktop, McKee allegedly stumbled around and quietly slurred to the cop, quote, "Man, I'm a South Bend police officer." Lawman to lawman, McKee reportedly failed another set of 3 sobriety tests and was rebooked at the LaPorte County Jail, this time with a .24 blood alcohol level. That's 3 times the legal limit. News Center 16 stopped by McKee's LaPorte home for a comment. Despite a lamp turned on inside, no one answered the door or returned our phone calls. South Bend Police Chief Ron Teachman also declined an on-camera interview or written statement, citing the mounting severity of this employee matter, one where enforcing the law is oftentimes much easier than following it yourself.
I spoke off camera with McKee's neighbors who tell me the suspended officer served 2 tours in Iraq and suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. They allege the U.S. military and Veterans Affairs have turned a blind eye on McKee, leaving the 33-year-old to battle those internal demons all alone. Terry.
And there are, of course, tens of thousands of servicemen and women with similar struggles. Kevin, is there any way McKee can keep his job as a cop following the second DUI arrest?
Everything's pointing to no. First and foremost, you got to understand now he has a suspended driver's license. Of course, driving crucial to police work, but also the South Bend Police Department maintains a standard of excellence for its employees. So 2 DUIs in 4 months definitely does not meet that criteria. You do hope, though, if he really does have PTSD, that he's going to find the proper care, find the proper help, and you do feel for him. Right now, though, it's a waiting game to see what the South Bend Police Department and the South Bend Board of Public Safety is going to do in this matter.
All right, Kevin, thanks.
Yeah.